Howdy rock stars! Lij Shaw with Recording Studio Rockstars, and in this video I am going to unbox something that just came in for the studio. Really awesome. It comes in from Grace Design, and this should be the M108 mic pre interface. So Grace makes a bunch of really amazing sounding gear, and they're for example, I have the M201 mic pre that has incredibly high gain, but it's super clean sounding, and it's awesome. And so Grace also makes, you know, an 8-channel version of their mic pre, and they make a bunch of cool stuff. They make boxes that you can use to use on stage. So for example, they're like really elaborate kind of DI box style designs where, like, for example, you could have a microphone on stage and you could run it into a box that gives you a good mic signal, but lets you do fancy things like route it out through special effects pedals and stuff like that. Or maybe you've got an acoustic guitar and you want to be able to preamplify it and give it the right kind of EQ and everything from the stage. So they do a variety of stuff. They also make a really great monitor controller, both for stereo monitor control for your studio, or if you're doing an Atmos mixing setup. They make stuff that will let you control the volume of all your speakers. You can interface that with the gear that does the computer interface, like this guy. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. I don't want to cut my finger. There we go. I'm using my handy dandy serrated bread knife that I use for all my unboxing videos. But in this case, the M108 is an 8-channel interface that will integrate with my computer as an interface for running signal in and out of the DAW, but it also has, because it's Grace Design, it's got really amazing sounding mic pre's on it. So I'm really excited about this. I've got a special additional feature, so stay tuned for this, and I'll show you that too, that's going to help it integrate really well into my Pro Tools system that already exists here at the studio. Well, like this boxing, it's like piece of plastic with just a piece of cardboard there, so it's like suspended in space. Look at this, it's just floating in the air right here. All right, so here we go, some sort of QR code. Hopefully I didn't just show you my serial number. We'll find out. And this right here is the box. So let me scoot this guy out of the way. Not a whole lot in here because you don't need a whole lot. That's the beauty of it. You've got power as a regular IEC cable, no wall warts. Everybody, no wall warts, a real cable. That's great. That means, I really appreciate that when companies do that, because it means that first thing that happens when you have multiple components for anything is that something's going to get lost in the studio. So when your power cable is just a straight up power cable, you're not going to lose it later. All right, so here you go. You can see, oh, this is beautiful. I love it when you get to peel off the plastic off the front there. All right, let me bring this up closer so you can see it in the camera. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. Let me look behind here and make sure you can see it. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, so the front of this guy, you got the logo over here. You've got a rotary knob that's detented. It clicks as you turn it, and that's going to be an edit knob. So when we fire this guy up, we'll get all of our controls from the front screen here. It's got a nice weight to it, but it's not crazy heavy. It's definitely not light and cheap, but it's not like overly heavy, like it's going to be a pain to deal with. You've got another rotary knob here, which says volume and mute. So I think this is going to be like, this is going to be your output volume for the headphones. You probably, we'll flip it around on the back here too, but this will probably be my output volume for stuff like headphones and speakers. And then this will be for editing things on the screen. Then you've got typical buttons like 48-volt phantom power right here. You've got the phase flip and or a solo, and this is also doubles as a mute if you need it to. And then peak clear. So if you get overs, that's kind of handy when you're recording. You want to be able to see the overs that happen but you can clear them out later. And then pan and group button. And then you have a couple of high Z inputs, so you can just plug a guitar straight in here and start recording if you want. Here's your power switch. Now let me flip this guy around so we can see what's on the back side here too. All right, so 8 mic pre-inputs. Let me make sure I've got you in the screen. There we go. Okay, great. 8 mic pre-inputs, so 1 over here through 8 XLR inputs. Now, just be aware these are not combo jacks. So this is going to be mic in, or you can use the guitar ins here for 1 and 2. So that's 1 and 2 give you that combo ability, but the rest of them are mic line in or mic in. So that's great. Now, I don't know if you can run a line into these. I assume you probably can. They probably just have the gain carefully set up to where you can bring the gain way down and run a line level signal in, but you would have to use a DI if you were going to do the other inputs. And then you have a D sub analog out here. And so you could run a D sub cable to any kind of breakout, or to go to your patch bay if you want to run all the outputs to the patch bay. But if you want to do the inputs from the patch bay, you're going to need to go from your patch bay to XLR inputs. So that's, you know, that's cool. I mean, when you put stuff in the patch bay, you sort of do it once and set it up right and forget it anyway. Then you've got an AES out here. So if you want to go digital out to AES inputs of something, you can set that up. So for example, my Lynx Aurora modules do have additional AES inputs. I could connect this through an AES cable to go to those that way, but I'm going to do it a different way, which I'm going to show you here in a moment too. You have a USB 2 output, and then this will let you plug it in as a USB interface to run on any computer. So I'll hook this up to my laptop when I want to go portable, and then I'll have a really killer portable studio that way. I could run it into my studio here directly and just run the session off this guy if I wanted. I can have this hooked up and run this as a secondary interface. Sometimes I have a Pro Tools HDX rig here in the studio, and one of the challenges with HDX is that you know, the Pro Tools AVID system kind of locks you out of some of the other stuff. You do have AUX IO to go from your HDX Pro Tools stuff to the core audio in the system of Mac, but a lot of times it can also be easier to let's say you wanted to have 2 apps running in your on your Mac, and one of them is running Pro Tools, but the other one's running like some other kind of recording session, or you're trying to route audio to a Zoom call or whatever. Sometimes it's handier to have a second interface that just handles those inputs and outputs. Or for example, I have a Pro Tools HDX system, and that's for running the Pro Tools session. But if I just want to play Spotify and, you know, Apple Music and stuff like that, and I just want to, or watch YouTube videos, sometimes it's nice to have a secondary interface that talks directly to core audio, and I just flip over on my controller. But anyway, back to the plan here. So sorry, live, real time here, rock stars. All right, so you also have ADAT outs, and then you have a MIDI in and a MIDI out, and then these are little 9-pin connectors, and so you would basically put a little MIDI breakout cable onto this. So this thing can double as a MIDI interface if you want to get to your gear, old MIDI gear, which would be cool. You have an Ethernet cable. From my Mac, I should be able to remote control the mic pre's on my session. So if I wanted to have this far away in the studio, like near the drums or something like that, and then maybe I had a long enough USB cable to get to it, or as you'll see here in a moment, I have the AVID Digilink card in here. I could also have a long Digilink cable running out to this guy, and then I could remote control the mic pre's. But in my case, I'm going to actually keep it in the control room so that I've got 8 really great mic pre's right here in the control room, which is going to be exciting. All right, so let me go here and show you this last bit. So this is what I'm really excited about. This is the custom Digilink port, and this came installed from Grace Design. And what it's going to allow me to do is set this guy up. I'll use an additional Digilink connector from my HDX card in Pro Tools, and then I've got an additional dedicated 8 really great high quality audio inputs right here in the studio, or in the control room rather, that I can run directly off my HDX system. And then when I want to take this as a portable system and, you know, take it with my laptop and go out and just go record some sessions remotely, I'm just going to disconnect everything, take this guy with me and plug in a USB 2 cable into my laptop, and then I've got a portable studio. So pretty cool. Now the Digilink, I'm going to run a cable to this, and then I believe with the word clock, I'll have to daisy chain my word clock over to the other Pro Tools interfaces that I have right now. So those would be my Aurora Link 16s. That way there's a clock loop going for Pro Tools HDX to work great. So that's pretty much everything on the back here. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm really excited to give it a listen. When I get this thing hooked up, I will do some more video to show you guys how it's working and what it sounds like as best I can, or at least give you a walkthrough of what it does here on the front and everything. And I highly recommend that you go check out Grace Design. They make amazing sounding gear. Sounds awesome. And keep on rocking in the studio. Hey, if you enjoyed this video too, remember to hit that subscribe button and the like. Definitely hit the like, because that helps our channel and the videos reach more people. And we'll see you around the studio. Oh, one last thing too. If mixing is something you're really focused on right now, in the link below in this video, I've got a free video, basically a free video course called Mix Master Bundle. And so you can click through there and I'll show you how to mix using free and stock plugins inside your DAW to take your simple, straightforward, professional mixing techniques. They're going to help take your mix from sounding kind of like a mushy basement demo to much closer to a professional, you know, high level mix. And you won't even need mastering. I just show you how to get it loud enough while you're mixing. All right, enjoy, rock stars. We'll see you around the studio. Cheers.